What it do, YouTube? Welcome to Hip Hop World. It's your boy Poppa Benji. We are back with another reaction today, man. We locked in with another video, man. Lil Durk situation got 1,000 times worse. Let's get this shit locked in.
Lil Durk is requesting his release immediately after catching the judges and the prosecutors in a grand conspiracy. Now, it feels like we get about one of these every week where Lil Durk finds something new that he believes warrants his immediate release, okay? This time around may be a little different, and y'all might feel differently. For the last year or so that Lil Durk has been locked up for, he's been confused at the treatment he's been getting at the hands of the judges and the prosecutor. Because Lil Durk understands he's in jail for murder, a murder for hire case. But he's like, the way y'all are treating me, y'all treating me like I'm like a cartel leader. I'm like Al Chapo or something.
Right.
Or I'm like an international war criminal. Things like the prosecutors and the judge recommending,
Man, shit, that's how you was acting like in your raps, but let me not get into none of that.
that the jury like remains anonymous, meaning like there's like a black veil sheet in front of the jury, like, and nobody can see who they are. Lil Durk and them won't even know who the jury is. It's like an anonymous jury that nobody sees. That only happens in like an international war court or like a court case for like a cartel leader because they have resources to get anybody killed. That usually isn't the case for a rapper. Lil Durk even proposed a bond package with millions of dollars, and that got denied. And usually that gets denied if you're like a danger to society. So they're listing Lil Durk as that. Well,
Basically.
Lil Durk, after being confused for about a year, finally finds out the real reason why the judge has been treating him as if he's like this war criminal. Lil Durk recently found out that the prosecutors and the judge actually had their own little secret that they was hiding from his defense attorney and him. So apparently they've been receiving death threats from Lil Durk fans or people who claim they're fans of Lil Durk who's calling and threatening people, okay?
Oh, shit.
So February 22nd, 2025, they received 4 threatening voicemails to Judge Donahue, referencing Lil Durk and threatening Judge Donahue and courthouse personnel. February 25th, 3 days later, USMS Context Chambers and USAO, FBI opens investigation. SA Karakran, whatever that is, becomes an FBI point of contact and actively investigate the threats.
Damn.
A couple months later, all right, April 28, 2025, the U.S. attorney received a threatening call. So the U.S. attorney, Yana Laho, receives a threatening call with death threats to not only the U.S. attorney, but they also threatening the courthouse.
Them Lil Durk fans are devious. Them niggas not playing about him. They like, yo, y'all let young boy out. Y'all need to let Durk out.
And the U.S. Attorney Office personnel. Now, about 3 days later, May 1st of 2025, the United States Attorney Office obtained a second superseded indictment in this case. May 8th. Now, this is where Lil Durk has a problem with just finding out about these threats. Lil Durk goes in front of a judge May 8th, 2025 for a detention hearing to try to see if he can get released on this bond package. However, Lil Durk stood no chance of getting bond. It didn't matter what Lil Durk would have offered. Lil Durk could have offered $1 billion. They would have kept him there because they've been receiving threats since February 22nd. The FBI got involved to show you like the level of seriousness they took this. This wasn't just normal. No, the FBI got involved. They were actively investigating these threats. So from February 22nd up until May 1st, 7 days before his detention hearing, they were receiving threats. Lil Durk is saying, hold on, I stood no chance because the judge denied releasing me, denied my bond hearing. That's not right. They had no reason to hide it from Lil Durk. The only reason they were hiding from Lil Durk if they believed that Lil Durk was behind those death threats, which they had no reason to believe. But you keep it from them.
Y'all got no fucking evidence of that either. Y'all got the nigga recorded calls. Every fucking call he does, y'all got it recorded. How the fuck is he gonna do anything?
That means he couldn't even get effective counsel. He couldn't have his attorneys represent him properly because he didn't know what he was facing. He didn't know about these threats. So his bond hearing is getting rejected. It didn't matter what he would have offered, $1 billion, they would have rejected it. So that means, hold on, bruh. The judge was prejudiced when she was rejecting my bond package because she was receiving threats. She thought it was serious enough to get the FBI involved. She is under pressure. She has her own biases and prejudices against me. And I didn't know this when I was defending myself and trying to get this bond package. June 2nd, 2025,
There's more.
a detention hearing and pretrial
There's more. Fuck.
motion hearing on defendant's motion to disclose grand jury transcripts before Judge Fitzgerald. Threats were still undisclosed to defense. Continued detention order ruling pending on motion to disclose. They didn't disclose the grand jury. And you know why? Because the judge believed that Durk was a menace to society and Durk was somebody who was a threat to society, and she feared for the safety of the people in that grand jury. And this could have all been avoided if she would have given Lil Durk the opportunity to defend himself. August 6th and 13th, they requested an anonymous jury. Now, Lil Durk and his defense counsel, they're confused. They're like, bruh, Lil Durk is not Al Chapo. What you mean, anonymous jury? Are you crazy? They still did not disclose the threats. Now, October 1st was the first time Lil Durk and his attorneys heard anything about any threats. It was just a partial disclosure though. They didn't find out the full thing until recently. October 1st, there was a partial disclosure of threats by the government. The defense makes oral demands for immediate disclosure of all relevant materials and communication about threats. It took about a month or so for them to receive that. And even that was a fight because the judge was even fighting that. They didn't really want to disclose anything or everything, but they finally disclosed it all.
They know how to hold some information for a little bit of time. They waited damn near a whole fucking year to disclose that.
And now Lil Durk and his attorney is requesting that everybody gets dismissed from this case. The judge gets dismissed, the U.S. Attorney Office, the prosecutors, they get dismissed. Lil Durk believes that right now is impossible for him to get a fair shake and a fair chance at trial. That even if he goes through trial, he still got to get sentenced by this judge if he gets found, right? If he gets found guilty. Or even at trial, the judge still has to make a ruling. He believes right now the judge has been permanently marked with prejudice due to her life being threatened. Because now the judge herself is a victim. Durk's like, hold on, bro. If they're victims and they was moving as if they're victims, they call the FBI. The FBI is investigating. They're also victims. They could be witnesses in this case as well.
Right.
Because if these threats make it a trial,
right, he right,
then the judge and the prosecutor, there's witnesses too. So they got to...
You see how that shit all play out? You see how that all play out? That shit is crazy as fuck, my boy.
Gets dismissed. And Lil Durk and his attorneys made their argument on exactly why they should be dismissed in this motion. Lil Durk and his attorney discovered that on top of the undisclosed threats, there were actually ex parte communications between the prosecution team and the bench about these threats. And he believes that the defense counsel was not able to be present when the prosecutors and the judges was having meetings by themselves about Lil Durk. And because of those secret meetings that Durk defense team weren't present for, they will claim that that has irreparably compromised the structural integrity of these proceedings. Damn. Lil Durk attorney will argue that the
you know what? Lil Durk might get free.
Prosecution's 7-month silence deprived Lil Durk of his 5th and 6th Amendment right to due process in an impartial tribunal. During this period, defendants unknowingly litigated critical matters, including detention proceedings and pretrial motions, before judicial officers operating under the cloud of undisclosed threats. The attorney would further argue that, if we would have known that this was going on, we would have asked for a recusal, probably before the detention trial, right? We would have asked for recusal before we went in front of this judge and put together this bond package and wasted our time to try to get released.
Y'all wasted.
We would have did.
Y'all wasted a couple of months of y'all time to try and not get this man free. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all want. I don't know. Y'all probably want him to rot in jail, but this nigga is not El Chapo at all.
Things entirely different. Y'all robbed him of that for the last 7 months. They will say the concealment prevented defendants Lil Durk from seeking recusal, challenging the fairness of proceedings, or making informed strategic decisions. The resultant appearance of partiality amplified by ex parte discussions between the bench and the prosecution about threats directly implicating Lil Durk has created an incurable breach of judicial neutrality that no lesser remedy than full recusal of the Central District breach can cure. And if you're still confused as to what a full recusal will entail, let's break it down, okay? So they said, additionally, the line prosecutors, especially the attorney U.S. officer, Yanalo, must be barred from participating in the prosecution of this case. And because it appears the entire United States Attorney's Office for the Central District of California participated in the investigation, the entire office must be disqualified. Then how would they be able to prosecute Lil Durk? That's the point. Okay? That's the point. Right? Like if Lil Durk, like if the entire office has been deemed as, I don't know, right? Like incapable of prosecuting Lil Durk, then how will Lil Durk have a case? How will Lil Durk have a trial? Will he just take a plea deal for probation or something? All right. Finally, given that the U.S. Attorney Office sought a superseding indictment against Lil Durk just days after being directly threatened in their name, the indictment must be dismissed. The fact that the U.S. Attorney Office concealed the information and only revealed it to support its extraordinary motion to impanel an anonymous jury demands that the indictment be dismissed with prejudice. No lesser sanctions can restore public confidence in the fairness of this prosecution or cure the prejudice flowing from months of secret communications and judicial proceedings conducted under these extraordinary circumstances. First off, man, don't get your hopes up, bruh. If you think these people are about to disqualify every attorney at the U.S. Attorney Office of the Central District of California, you're out of your mind, bro. Lil Durk has to have a trial. These people are not just going to say, hey, Lil Durk, case dismissed, go home, buddy. Don't have to atone, don't have to answer for a murder for hire trial. Go home. Cut it out, bro. There's gonna have to
be... Yeah. Yo, this shit is wild, bro. The lawyers are crazy as fuck for this.
Somebody there to prosecute Lil Durk. Now, what I do think is probably going to happen here, the judge might get dismissed. Another judge might come, because this judge, I'll be real, man, we seen this during a Young Thug trial. Y'all seen it. The Young Thug, I think the judge had to step down and another judge took over due to something like this. In a case of Young Thug, the judge had an ex parte meeting with the prosecutors, and I believe one of the lawyers for like a witness or a co-D who may have testified against Young Thug. So Young Thug attorney made a big stink about it, like, hold on, bro. Are you having ex parte meeting behind Young Thug back with YSL Woody's lawyer and other people's lawyer who could be testifying against Thug? That's out. You got to go. And then the judge actually tried to lock up Young Thug attorney for calling him out. So I think for sure, Lil Durk's judge is going to get dismissed. But all that means is another judge is going to take the bench. The U.S. Attorney Office ain't going anywhere, bruh. All right, like, cut that out right here and right now. They did answer, I guess, the question here, which is if the Central District of California gets disqualified, then who would prosecute Lil Durk? This is a Fed case, so apparently they're just asking for the district to be, like, reassigned. That's untainted. So they will say right here, the judiciary legitimacy depends on a public confidence that the justice is not only done, but seen to be done, that confidence is shaken here, that defendants therefore respectfully urge the court to dismiss the indictment or at the very least, to disqualify the U.S. Attorney Office of the Central District of California and reassign this matter to a district untainted by the government's non-disclosure. I guess the strategy here is maybe if it's a new judge and a new district, that maybe Lil Durk can get bond at the very least and be released as he fights this case, instead of the judge keeping him locked up, believing that he's a threat to society because of these death threats. I don't know how much Lil Durk is paying Drew Finley, but he's not paying him enough. This man has searched every corner, every crevice for any type of rule break to get this case dismissed and get Lil Durk home. The first time I knew Drew Finley was really about that life was, y'all remember the motion we covered where they discover like the lead attorney for the U.S. Attorney Office, they discover like he wasn't properly assigned or appointed by his particular designation. So they wanted him dismissed from the case, and just wanted this entire case dismissed because the person who brought the indictment was not appointed properly, so hence they had no authority to bring forth the indictment. So, this man is going through lengths to get Lil Durk home. I think this would be a failed mission. I don't feel like this is getting dismissed, but I do think this judge is a goner. They're done. But we'll see, man. All right, y'all let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think?
Nah, I think that this shit is a crazy ass situation right here, man. But free Durk, you know what I'm saying? He definitely makes some good ass music, and we need some new music from Durk. But you feel me? Who knows? Only time will tell at this point. They just gotta fluke and fuck up for him to get out. Other than that,